welcome back to my channel, Diva in the Apron. This your girl, Kayla, and don't y'all just love this apron? I think it's super cute. It's definitely giving me Minnie Mouse vibes. So, today, I will be showing y'all how to make one of my favorite recipes, and that is my seafood pasta. Y'all know it's bomb. I'm giving it to y'all, okay? And I think this recipe is really good to share with you all right about now because there are a lot of parties going on, and you know, what's better to bring to a house party than some seafood pasta? It's super easy and it's full of flavor. So when your friends say, girl, what you bringing to the party? Or dog, what you bringing? You can make this and everybody will love it, because I know when I'm at a party and I see seafood pasta, it's definitely going on my plate. So I'm not gonna hold y'all up, so let's go ahead and get into the ingredients. All right, y'all. So of course you will need some shrimp, and I have some here, about a few handfuls, you know, and they're already peeled and deveined. You will need some imitation crab meat, which I have right here. I'm using 2 packs. You will need some rotini, and I'm using the Tricolor rotini. Don't be skeptical about the color, y'all. It tastes good. It just gives it a little color. You also need some mayonnaise, and this is the deliciously creamy mayonnaise, and it's by Heinz. White clam sauce, sea salt, roasted garlic or regular garlic powder will be fine. Some Old Bay, of course, onion powder, my man Tony's, some parsley flakes, paprika. What's the potato salad and pasta salad without paprika? Black pepper, an onion, 1 green pepper and a red pepper. Almost done, y'all. 1 lemon. And optional is some crackers. You know, if I'm eating it alone, then I like to eat some crackers with it. And some tuna. And I have the tuna in tuna in water. All right. So the first thing that you want to do is cook your pasta. I'm going to add a drizzle of oil, and I've already salted my water. Now I'm going to add in my pasta, and I will be cooking it until it's al dente. And if you're not sure, you can always follow the instructions on the back of the box. So now that my water is back boiling, I'm going to go ahead and let the pasta cook. Meanwhile, I'm going to go over and get the other ingredients ready. So you want to pat your shrimp dry with a paper towel and try to remove most of the water. And remember, for the seafood pasta, you definitely want to remove the tail, okay? Because if you don't, I can't help you. So don't forget and leave the tail on, because it will be a disaster. So my pasta has been boiling for about 12 minutes, and I believe it's done, but I'm going to go ahead and test it out. Yep, it's done. So now I'm going to drain my pasta and just let it chill and set aside until later. You want it to cool off so that way when you add in your mayonnaise, it doesn't melt and become a hot oily mess, because we don't want that. Now I'm going to season my shrimp. So I'm starting off with a little bit of roasted garlic, but if you don't have roasted garlic, you can also use garlic powder. I'm also using some Old Bay, onion powder, Tony Chachere's, paprika, black pepper, and a little bit of sea salt. And all the ingredients will be listed down below. Alright, so I'm going to mix my seasoning in really well and set it aside, then moving right along to the crab. For the crabs, I will be adding in a little bit of roasted garlic, Old Bay, and onion powder. You really don't want to add too much salt or over season your crabs, because they have their own unique flavor, so you don't want to get rid of that. You want to keep that flavor. The one thing I love about seafood pasta is that you can add in other seafood. I've even added in scallops before, and it tastes really good. So this dish is very versatile. Now you just want to kind of rub the seasoning onto your crabs, and now it's time to chop up the vegetables. I don't know why I didn't buy pre-chopped veggies, because I'm just not in the mood to chop these vegetables up. Sometimes it just be aggravating, y'all. Then the onions have you crying and all that, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And for the vegetables, you want them to be cut up finely. You don't want big chunks of green peppers and red peppers and onions, because remember, this will be going into your pasta salad and it just tastes better if you're not chopping down on big pieces of vegetables. Whew, thank God I'm almost through this onion, y'all. My eyes didn't tear as bad. They held it down this time. All right, so I'm adding in about 1 tablespoon of margarine. You can also use butter if you don't have margarine, or if you just want to use butter. And I'm adding in a little bit of oil so that way my margarine don't burn as fast. That's the trick. So when your pan is nice and hot, go ahead and add your shrimp in and make sure you place them in a single layer, all nice and flat. That way your shrimp can cook evenly. All right, so now it's time to flip the shrimp over, and same thing, make sure you keep them nice and flat, keep them in an even layer, and they are browning very nicely and they smell delicious. Just look at those shrimp, y'all. So my shrimp are all done, and I'm going to remove them from the pan. And in that same exact pan, I'm going to add in another tablespoon of margarine, and I will not be rinsing that pan out because we do not throw away seasoning over here. That pan has lots of flavor in it. So I'm adding in my crabs, and being that the crabs are already done, I will not be cooking these for long. You're pretty much just warming them up, getting a little seasoning on it, and taking them out the pan, toss them around, and that's it. Because if they cook too long, they will get really soft and start to break apart, and we don't want that. So see how the crabs have now gotten a little soft? That's good enough. Now I'm going to remove them from the pan. So in the same pan again, I'm adding in another tablespoon of margarine. Now it's time to go ahead and saute these vegetables. And remember, when sauteing your vegetables, don't forget to turn your stove down a little because you don't want the vegetables to burn. Alright, so my vegetables are nice and soft and sauteed. Now I'm going to remove them from the pan. So I'm going to cut my crab into nice bite-sized pieces, and you don't want them too small, but you also don't want them too big either, because you don't want your guests to be taking like horse bite-sized pieces of the pasta and the meat. Then you have all that seafood all in your gums and between your teeth. No, we don't want that. So go ahead and cut them up into nice sized pieces, and when your pasta is cooled down, you want to go ahead and add your crab into your pasta. Alright, so now let's cut up the shrimp. Now the way I do the shrimp is I cut some of them up into 3s, I cut some of them up into 2s, some of them in half, and I leave some of them whole. So next I'm going to add in the shrimp. And this is starting to come together. It smells amazing. I cannot wait until it's done. Now you want to add in the tuna, and make sure you drain the tuna before adding it in. Now I'm adding in the clams, and with this part you pretty much just want to fish out the clams and hold the juice. I will be adding the juice later, so just focus on the clams and add in however much you want to. I try to add in maybe about a half a can. Now just give it a good mix so everything can start getting mixed in together. Next, I'm adding in the sauteed vegetables. Now I'm just going to give it another good mix, get everything nice and mixed up. And as I'm mixing, I try to break apart any big pieces of tuna that I see. Before I add any seasoning, I like to taste it to see how it tastes with just the ingredients that I've added so far. So I'm pretty much adding in the same seasonings that I used earlier, along with some paprika and parsley flakes. Now here is where you will add in more clams along with the clam juice. Be careful not to add too much of the juice because it has oil in it, and if you put too much, it can make your pasta very oily. So just keep that in mind, and once again, give everything a very good mix. So now I'm going to go ahead and taste it again, and taste it as much as y'all have to because I don't care. I will taste it over and over again because it has to be on point. Now I'm adding in a little bit of lemon juice, not a lot, just a little bit. You don't want it to be tart. And that's also taken up for my lemon pepper seasoning because normally I will add that in, but I didn't mention it earlier because I only had a little bit, but I'll probably go ahead and add that little bit in after I add the mayonnaise. So now you want to add the mayonnaise, add it in a little bit at a time, and add it in until it's as creamy as you want it to be. So this is pretty much how you want it to look, and as you're mixing in the mayonnaise, continue to break up any big pieces of tuna that you might see because you want the tuna to get mixed in very well with the mayonnaise. Now I'm adding in a little bit of parsley and a little bit more onion powder, Old Bay seasoning, and finally I'm adding in that little drop of lemon pepper that I have. That lemon pepper just gives it a kick. I must have it when I'm making my pasta, and I'm so aggravated that I'm out of it. I didn't even notice, but you want to go ahead and give it one last good mix. Make sure everything's mixed in very well, especially the tuna and the mayonnaise. You want to make sure that the tuna fish is mixed in very well into the mayonnaise. Now it's time to plate it and sit it in the refrigerator. I normally let mine sit in the refrigerator for about 45 minutes to an hour, but I don't like mine really cold. So you guys, just do whatever you like, but you at least have to let it refrigerate for 45 minutes to an hour. That way your mayonnaise can get cold. So I just topped it off with a little paprika, and look at that, y'all. It's all done. Look how creamy and full of flavor that look. OMG, that looks delicious. So if you make this shrimp pasta and bring it to any gathering, you're going to be bringing it every time. So just get prepared. Give me a thumbs up if you like this recipe. Don't forget to comment down below and let me know what you think about it, and subscribe. See y'all later.